Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is the 18th tutorial in this course, and in this tutorial we're going to talk about constants in PHP. And constants are very useful in programming, particularly in cases when we're working with values that we do not want to change, intentionally or even accidentally, right? So this is something that happens a lot. For instance, you have a simple program like the one to calculate the area of a circle. Now, in that program, at some place you would be using the value pi. Now pi is a universal constant. It has the value 3.14 something something, and you would always want to use that value, and you would never want to change that value to 2.14 or 5.14, not even accidentally. So in such cases it makes sense to create constants instead of using variables, because with a variable you have the risk of accidentally changing the value. And if your variables are exposed to users, then they can also change values. And if suppose whenever a user logs in, you want the user to see a message, and you want that message to show up every time the same way, and you don't want anybody to have the access to change it. So in such a case, again, you would want to use constants instead of variables. Now, the file that I have opened up here is called constants.php, and in this file on line number 6 I have the opening PHP tag, on line number 12 I have the closing PHP tag, and then I have defined a constant called year. And constants are created in a different way than variables, right? So you can't just type in the word year and use the assignment operator and give it a value, because in that way you wouldn't be distinguishing your constant from a variable, because that's how you create variables, right? So something has to happen in a different way. And in PHP we create constants by using the define function. So you type in define, and then within parentheses you first type in a name for your constant, and since the name would be a string value, you would have to obviously enclose it within double quotes, and then you type in a comma and a value for your constant. This value again could be a string value or a numeric value. In this case I have assigned the value 2014 to year. And then you can use the echo statement to see the value that you have in your constant. And it's a practice in PHP, it's a convention that you always type in the names of your constants using uppercase alphabets and not lowercase alphabets. And this is only to be able to quickly distinguish between the variables in your program and the constants, right? And then on line number 9 I have tried to change the value of my constant year by assigning 2015 to it using the assignment operator. So we're going to see what happens when you try to do something like this. And then I've also tried to see the updated value using another echo statement on line number 11. So let me open this file in the browser. I'll type in constants.php, and when I press the enter key I see that I get a parse error. And this is because I haven't disabled the warnings and error messages in my PHP ini file. And if you don't want to see these things, then you can disable. But I think that while we are learning to program in PHP, it makes sense for us to have the warnings and error messages on, because if we make mistakes, we want PHP to tell us as much as it can about what we've done wrong. So here it tells us that on line number 9 we have the equal to symbol, and this is what's creating some mess. So let me go back to my file, and what I'll do is I'll get rid of this, and then I'll also get rid of these two statements. I just want to see the value of my constant, and I'll refresh the page, and there we go. We see 2014 now, right? So we've clarified two things. First is how we create constants in PHP, and the second thing is that if we try to change the value of a constant, PHP throws error messages at us and it doesn't allow us to do that, right? So that's it for this tutorial. I'm going to see you in the next one, in which we'll talk about something interesting in PHP again. And you may subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm going to see you in the next video. Till then, take care.